What's up, people? Welcome to what's essentially the final week. The last thing you got to do now is turn in SA3. If you've been on track and you have gotten your SA3 outline in, which a lot of you have, which is awesome. It's Friday, and I've already started grading some, the ones that have been turned in, so that's really cool. Your final task is going to be going from the outline to the final essay. Okay, so that's great. I have graded SA2s, all the SA2s. Let's see. Let's look at, okay, weekly folders. There is nothing currently in the final folder. Got a mosquito. Um, this week right here, week 7. Okay, this is going to be the week in which you turn in your essay. This is going to be right here will be essay 3, and you will submit it. And essay 3 will have the same rubric as the past 2 essays. Okay, and there won't be anything for week 8 because I'm using week 8 to grade and submit your final grades. Okay. So once you get done submitting your essay, now of course week eight will be for those who turn in their essays late. Okay, while week 7, the due date for your paper is July 9th. I'll be grading. Sorry, playing all week. And some of you will be using the writing lab. Some of you won't finish your papers till the end of the week 7, and then you need some in week 8. I have not received the exact date in which I need to submit grades. Once I do, I'll make sure to tell you. So, I'll start grading Monday, and I'll grade them as they come in. But once I grade all the essays I've been submitted, at that point, there will be zeros. So, if you're taking a chance of turning your essay late, that's on you. If I find out that grades are not due until later in the week, or even into what would be week 9, then I'll let you know in the case that you're using the writing lab. But between now and then, you should plan on trying to get your essay done and turn in by July 9th. Okay. And then, like I said, now also, those of you who have not submitted essays 1 or 2, you can still submit and get a 60 to a 70 on those essays and still pass the class. All right. You might pass the class with a very low grade. And even if your essays are 100, like, quality, you won't get 100s on them. You will get a low grade, but a passing grade. So you can still pass the class. So even as of now, going into week 7, this class is not out of the realm of passing for anyone. Everyone can still pass the class. Not everyone will get an A or a B in the class, but everyone can still at least get a passing grade in the class. Okay. So the only people who this class is over with for after week 7 are those who have turned in all of their essays and they're done. Okay. And as soon as you do that, you are done. Okay. Great. SA2s have been graded. You should have seen a change in your grade as of yesterday. If your SA2 grade was higher than your SA1 grade, then it replaced your SA1 grade. Okay. So yeah, there's that for you. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to go over with you today. The only thing I'm going over today is some good and not great submissions for SA2, and to talk about that in reference to what you can do for SA3, because it is all essentially the same kind of stuff. Let's just go over one more time. I went over this last week, but I just want to go over it real quickly. Um, the requirements for essay 3. I know I've already done that. I just want to make sure I'm very clear, okay? Um, so if you recall from the notes I posted last week, I go over very detailed what you should write about in your essay. I'm talking about what you should discuss in your introduction, your body paragraphs, okay, and your conclusion. It's all right here. Essay 3 tasks. It tells you specifically what you need to do, and this is and all the your essay 3 is about the memoir that you read, okay, that you signed up for and that you found yourself and you read. In your introduction, you're going to state the title and author of the book, general overview of what the book recounts, thesis statement, sentences about the body paragraphs. Paragraphs 2 to 3, identify 2 issues that had an impact on the speaker or to a character in the book, such as abuse, sexuality, addiction, isms, racism, sexism, heteroism, nationalism, xenophobia, trauma, abandonment, success, accomplishment, achievement, adversity, etc. All right, they should be specific. It's a loud airplane. The issues should be specific. It shouldn't just be like coming of age or, you know, being weird. Okay, it should be a specific issue. Research the issues and how they generally affect people and apply that to the speaker slash character. Does your speaker succumb to the same type of effects as most people who face this issue, or did the speaker find ways to get around or overcome these effects, etc.? Okay. Paragraph 4 is what is the unifying theme of the book, in your opinion? If you had to reduce your book to one main idea that the writer wants you to know in general, not about them, but something the reader can walk away with and apply to their own selves, what would it be? And then the conclusion. How did you feel about this book personally? Did you relate, not relate, feel enlightened, reminded of someone you knew who was like this, more sympathetic now, less sympathetic to people like this? Okay. All right, so that's how your paragraph should flow. So on your rubric about organization, is this how your essay is flowing? Okay, that'd be part of your grade. Let's see. About 1,400 words. That's what I'm looking for. 1,400. Okay, 1,400 for the base score. Okay, for an A. For an A. If you have less than 1,400, you'll get lower grade. B. Okay, so 1,400 words. 2 outside sources. You only need 2. Woo, look at that. Only 2. Nice. Okay, 2 secondary sources. And your works cited page needs to have your novel. Your memoir. Okay. There's still 3 sources on your works cited page. Your 2 your 2 secondary sources, and your 1 primary source. Okay. All right. Let's look at some examples. Let's look at this A paper. This is an A paper for essay 2. Okay. All right. We have heading, name, buyers. Really, this is a little messed up. English some 2 should be on here. 25. Okay. And actually, I think that's my fault. I think when I downloaded this, it got a little messed up. All right. Empowerment through poetry. We got title. We have consistency in formatting. We have justify right here. Okay. American singer-songwriter Bob Dylan once said, "I consider myself a poet first and a musician second." Okay, we have period. We have quotation mark here. We don't need parenthetical citation because we have Bob Dylan quote right here. Similarly to how music can evoke emotion, underlying themes, poetry can also serve as an outlet for artistically expressing social issues or important messages. Okay, so if you recall my notes, my essay 2 notes, let's see if I can pull that up. All right. week 5. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, this right here. Well, let's do this. Okay, remember I gave you in this set of notes, I gave you how your essay should flow. Introduction. In your introduction, you want to start broad and then move to a more narrow and specific idea. Begin talking about diverse perspectives in general, leading to the power of art and poetry as a vehicle to diverse expression. Move into talking about the 3 poets that you're going to be discussing in with your thesis statement. Okay, so I kind of map out for you the way your introduction should flow. So we look at here and this example, and we're moving in that way. In generality, relates music to themes and poetry, same thing. And then we're moving into the authors and the poems. For instance, Maya Angelou discusses African Americans' resilience against oppression in Still I Rise during the Civil Rights Movement era. She also discusses womanhood and self-love in Phenomenal Woman. Cool. Likewise, Amanda Lovelace spreads awareness of body positivity to young women going through puberty in What They Don't Want You to Know. Poetry uses many types of literary elements to convey the overall theme, as can be seen in the symbolism in Still I Rise, tone in Phenomenal Woman, and imagery in What They Don't Want You to Know. This is perfect. This is a great introduction. It does everything I've asked. It moves broad and it gets narrow and specific. I know exactly what poems are going to be discussed. They're written correctly. They're in quotation marks because poems and names of songs are all in quotation marks. Okay. The periods inside the quotation mark. That's great. Okay. So this is nice. All right. Then I should know that like the essay is gonna flow in this order. This writer, Leah, is going to discuss Still I Rise first, then Phenomenal Woman, and then What They Don't Want You to Know, which I can check right here. Still I Rise is first. Good. Uh, Phenomenal Woman is next. Right, as it should be. And then the last one, What They Don't Want You to Know. Okay? All right. So here we have, I'm not going to go through every paragraph, okay, but let's just look at the first one. In the poem, Still I Rise, great, there's an introductory clause. And then we have a comma right here because this is the introductory clause, which we offset those with commas. And it's the commas inside of quotation marks, as it should be. Maya Angelou uses the dust and ocean to symbolize how African Americans are resilient against oppression. Throughout history, society has tried to hide the truth about how oppressors, now we have an integrated quote here, trod African Americans in the very dirt. Okay. And then we have the line number. Okay. So then if we go 1, 2, 3, you may trod me in the very dirt. Okay. So this is a paper because the writer Leah, she integrated a quote from the poem straight into her sentence. And what's cool is that she replaced the word trod me right here, and you change to African Americans, which is perfect because look, this sentence won't make sense with me in here. Society has tried to hide the truth about how oppressors trod me in the very dirt. No. But she knows that Maya Angelou is an African American, a black woman. And so the me in that poem represents black people in general. So here is changed to specify what me refers to. Me refers to black people, in this case, African Americans. And so we have the bracket. The bracket tells the reader this is not the original word, but it's probably a nondescript word that needs to be modified for better meaning. Perfect. Okay, perfect. And then we know what line number it is. Despite the fact that their oppressors want to demoralize their spirit, Angela uses a simile, which also acts as a symbol to describe how, like dust, African Americans can rise from their oppression. Line 4. White oppressors have walked over African Americans and have mistreated them since slavery. However, like dirt particles that are in the air, they can transform into dust and rise from racial injustice and discrimination. This is all analysis. Although a speck of dust may be infinitesimal small, A dust storm can cause harm and suffocation, blah, 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 blah. Okay. She compares herself to Black Ocean, bears in the tide, 3334. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. In 2020, after the death of George Floyd due to police brutality, more than 4,700 demonstrations occurred since May 26. Buchanan. Due to the large turnout in small towns and large cities, government officials were made aware of its significance, and now many cities ban chokeholds. Buchanan. Okay, great. So now we have an outside source that relates to the theme. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay. So that's really good. We have citations. We have integration of quotes. We don't just have, some people will just say things like, in the following quote, and then they'll have a quote. Like, you know, the quotes should be integrated into the sentence in which you are writing. All right, and it should flow, okay, as this one does. So that's just an example of one of Leah's great paragraphs, and she does it many times over. Okay. All right, and then we look at the works cited page, and right here, works. Okay, we have our sources: Oliva, Angelou, Buchanan, all in alphabetical order. Perfect, 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 perfect. So, good job, really good job on this essay. Okay, it is an A paper. Okay. If you notice, look, the works cited page starts at the very top of the page, and each line has the hanging intent. The hanging intent. This is how your works cited page should look. It should be on its own page, start at the very top, and be in alphabetical order. Okay, now let's compare this to a B paper. Okay, David, his paper. Okay, well, already there's some issues. Just looking at it. Okay, this heading is in line, is indented. See, it shouldn't be here. It should be over where this, where all the way to the left. Okay, in line with the lines of the paper. So delete the indentions. Shouldn't be there. Okay. Next, notice this is all jaggedy instead of straight down. So let's select all and go to justify. There we go. Perfect. Now let's fix the title. Make it centered. Okay. Let's check the formatting. Select all. Paragraph. Okay, look, zero, yes. Blank, blank. That means there's inconsistency throughout the paper. Zero, double. Okay. Didn't notice much difference there. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the quality of writing. These poems are creatively written to show a woman's will to rule a man's world. They poems show how a woman's will is stronger than the man's grip on our lives, and each poem is showing how we can break the hold of a man and do anything. Being a woman will never stop us or hold us back, only drive us further. Okay. So, they poems, of course, this is supposed to be the poems. Okay. But still, it follows the flow. It's generalized, it's broad, and then becomes more narrow. In Amanda Lovelace's poem, this should be Lovelace's poem. What they don't want you to know. She uses theme in her poem to show that as a woman you can do blah 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 blah. Okay. In Kate Bear's, this right here, she uses theme. Also in Maya Angelou's poem, she uses symbolism. Or uses these symbolism of a woman's confidence to show that as a woman we are capable of anything men are. Okay. Poetry is a creative way to doing this. Between theme, and symbolism. Okay. So writer David, he followed the pathway in which I've laid out, okay, and the structure. Cool. Are there some grammatical errors? Of course, there are. Okay, it happens. All right. We see Amanda Lovelace show us in her poem that women are in control. No, you are not just here for him to be sexy. Blah 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 blah. Okay. All right. So there's some issues here. One, we can't introduce a poem. I mean, a quote like this. We see Amanda Lovelace show us in her poem that women are in control. That is a complete sentence. It's a complete sentence. You cannot separate. And then we have the line, the quote. You cannot separate two complete sentences with a comma. Okay. We see Amanda Lovelace show us in her poem that women are in control when she writes, comma. There we go. When she writes. No, you are not just here. Okay. Now, then we have the problem here of the parenthetical citation. And there shouldn't be a colon here. There should be a quotation mark, which I think is just a typo because the colon is right next to the quotation mark, and you have to shift to do that. So I think the writer was typing and just hit shift colon instead of shift quotation mark. Caitlin Byrne states in her article, get rid of A. This poem may be short, offers an important reminder to young girls amidst the confusion of puberty and society. Okay. Now this should be period. Because women can become confused and wrapped up in every changing lives of expectations and womanhood. Okay. So this is a complete sentence. Okay. This is a complete sentence. And this is a complete sentence. So period there. And then she wants to connect this complete sentence to this complete sentence. So the best thing to do is you can't use a comma by itself, which that's a run-on. It's a semicolon. Semicolon is great to connect two complete sentences together to say that these are connected in thought and idea, but they are grammatically separate sentences. Okay. Okay. As Kate Bear shows us in Moonsong, a woman is the captain in her own world, and we can be anything we want to be. Bear tells us you can be the sun, blah, 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 blah. This should be a comma. He tells us, okay, you can be the sun, the moon, the dance, a victory song that women can do whatever their heart desire, whatever their little typo here, okay. And this person tells us in her article, those considered to be self-empowered today are those who can choose what they want in every situation in life. Okay, that's the complete sentence right here. That's a complete sentence. And women should take hold of their lives and hold their own power to choose to do anything. And that's a complete sentence. Okay. And if this was all one sentence, we wouldn't need this because it's already stated here. So this should be a period. Oops. And this should be a capital W. Okay. All right. These are a lot of grammatical errors. Now, the analysis and the discussion are good. Okay. We have claim. We have support. And then we have analysis, interpretation. Okay. And so, because I know some of you are like wondering, like, how is this a B? All right. Well, look, there's some typos, sure. There's some grammatical errors. Grammar is only one part of the grading process. Okay. In this paragraph, it flows exactly how I've taught you to write. It has a claim. It has support from the primary and secondary source. It has research, and it has our analysis. Okay, so this is a B paper because I'm grading you on formatting. I'm grading you on organization. I'm grading you on your analysis. All right, I'm grading you on your grammar. Okay, and I'm grading you on the use of quotes and the integration of quotes. Okay, so those are 5 things. In here, there's only 2 errors, meaning the grammar issue, and this wasn't formatted correctly in terms of it wasn't justified, it was left. Okay, but the rest of the stuff is there. Having a run-on sentence here is not a poorly integrated quote. No, the quote's integrated correctly. That's not a quoting issue. That's a grammar issue. So, and like grammar is a little less because I'm not teaching you grammar. The idea is that you've learned grammar in high school, and that like what I am teaching you specifically is organization of your ideas and execution of it. Okay, so I'm grading more heavily the things that like I've actually taught and gone over. Okay, so yeah, there's grammatical problems, and if you turn a paper in with a bunch of grammatical problems, you're gonna get a score in that category. Okay, but if you turn a paper in though that is um, organized well and flows well, and it has integrated quotes that are cited properly, then you're gonna get higher points because those are the things that I'm teaching and focusing on. Okay, organization, claim, support, analysis. Is it flowing the way in which I've discussed? Is the paper itself organized the way in which uh, I have discussed to do? Okay, paragraph, master the essay. 3 parts of a paragraph, claim, support, analysis. That's what I want from you. Okay. On the next paper, essay 3, is it are your paragraphs flowing this way, and are they covering these things? That's what I've emphasized. That's what I'm grading you on. Okay. So same thing here. My old angel uses symbolism and a woman's confidence to show us. I walk into a room just as cool as you please and command the fellow stand and fall their knees. Okay. Susan O. So this right here is our what color did I use? That's our claim. That's the claim. This right here, Susan O points out again the same when she writes. This right here. Here is some support. Okay. Women are more than their appearances in society perceives we should be. The self-confidence of women symbolizes our own lives now. Blah 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 blah. Okay. And there's analysis. Okay. 1, 2, 3 lines of support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So there's more lines of analysis. Cool. Are there grammatical errors? Yeah, but it's organized and it flows, and it's integrating quotes, and it's using secondary and primary sources. So, okay, so it's a B. It's B. There's issues with this works cited page. This should be centered. A, B, B, L, O, S. Okay, that. Those are correct. Alphabetical order. Okay. Um, they're hanging in dents. Good. Good. Great. Okay. B paper. It has all the main requirements, but it has grammatical errors and 2 formatting issues. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go actually into the rest of the stuff of the season, but I do want to talk about last thing is using the writing lab. Okay, I'm going to show you uh, a person's essay they wrote originally. on their own. And then I'm going to show you uh, their version of Essay 2 after going to the writing lab. I've been emphasizing a lot about the writing lab. I talked about how if you go to the weekly folders, there is right here says free writing tutoring. You can go to the writing tutor, all right, on the campus, okay, for the writing lab, and that it's a great service, and your tuition pays for it, and you should do it. I, as an English major, learned a lot about grammar and proper writing by going to the writing lab and getting one-on-one instruction. Okay, so as an English major, I went. So if you are in this class and you're not even an English major, then you should definitely go. All right, and it really helps. I'm going to show you the befores and after. Okay, so all right, so before the writing lab, Texas Smith. This was his paper he turned in. It was a D paper. Okay, not centered, not justified. Okay. What's up here? It seems like a random small paragraph. Is that supposed to be here? Uh, no comma. Gender roles are very stereotypical in Hills Like White Elephants for Jig. Okay. We have a non-integrated quote here. It's just there. This is a drop quote. This is worded in a confusing way. According to the genders in the narrative, the author suggests that men and women exhibit different behavioral patterns. Again, we have another drop quote. So the way this quote is set up makes this entire sentence a run-on because the quote is a complete sentence and your analysis is a complete sentence. But the only thing that is separating these two sentences is a comma, which is incorrect, as I've discussed before. Okay. Things were not written correctly in terms of titles of publications, like the Atlantic here should be in italics. These are all these like errors that this person made. Okay, mid citation, this is not quoted correctly. Some typos in the story. The quote says we do not refer to it as the quote says. All right, because the quote doesn't say anything. Stated in this quote, these are ways in which they're being introduced. Citation, who said this? And you know who said this, okay? And then we get down to like the works cited page, and it's like all messed up here. It's not centered. We don't have proper writing of the title of the titles. They're out of order. It's not alphabetical. B, L, H should be the other way around. Okay, we should have the so you know there's problems here. Okay, a lot of problems here. So this received a low score, very low score. Okay, now we have this person. Jackson went to the writing lab and got help. Is it perfect? No. Okay, this is the downloaded version of it before I edited it. But like for example, like there's no like the last name and page numbers are not here as they were up here, which is good. Okay, it looks like there might be a little too much space between the lines here as they were here. Okay, unlike there. The title is centered. Cool. The format is correct. Cool. We don't have any random small little paragraphs around. Okay. Work type page should be on its own, but at least it's formatted correctly. All right. Still out of order, but it is much improved. Okay. Here we have these are italicized. This one's not. Okay, but still vastly improved. The language and the use of quotes is just much better. Let's look at this body paragraph here. In Phenomenal Woman, the central theme is the idea of resilience. There's the claim. Angela acknowledges that women often face adversity and challenges, yet they possess an innate strength to rise above them. The poem reinforces the idea that women can weather any storm, emphasizing their resilience and ability to bounce back from life's hardships. Resilience fosters a sense of empowerment and fortitude, enabling women to take control of their lives and rewrite their narratives. Overall, the theme of Phenomenal Woman celebrates the essence of womanhood. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. Angelou portrays the woman described in the poem as having an undeniable presence and charisma. She states, comma, quotation, I walk into a room just as cool as you please, dash or slash, and to a man, the fellow stands or slash fall down their knees. 14 through 18. Okay, this is cited correctly. Proper citations were not being used before. I didn't come across a single sentence in here that was awkward or sounded goofy, like from the previous essay. This assertion of confidence and self-belief resonates throughout the poem, inspiring readers to embrace their own unique qualities and embrace their self-worth, self-acceptance, in which the speaker celebrates her physical attributes. Okay, like this is just really good. Here we have, by viewing beauty solely as a constraint or a limitation, we might overlook the diverse ways in which people find and appreciate beauty in their lives, as stated in the New York Times. All right, now, of course, this quotation is wrong, but the italics is correct. If we see beauty as something we need to be freed from, we miss how people are experiencing it. McCann, period. So, like, this paper is vastly superior to essay one. If you're looking up here, I know I missed a label. This is actually essay two, and this is essay one, but who cares? All right. Their first paper that they turned in reads like a rough draft. Okay, it reads like a rough draft, and there's a lot of errors. The second paper that they turned in is, while it does have a few grammatical errors here or there, it is greatly superior. Okay, it's longer, it's more in depth, it flows well, organized, and this is what comes with working with someone else. Every professional writer has an editor. Everybody does, and so it's a natural part of writing to write and then get someone to help you read through it and edit it. The people at the writing lab, they won't, if you come in without much material, they're not going to do it for you. They help you work on what you have done. So again, it's not like you're using someone to pay for it to write it. This person, Jackson Smith, who's not their real name, had to come with all of this, at least the language, and then the writing tutor helped Jackson be able to tweak it, to find the fragments, find the run-ons, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so it's not a crutch, okay, but it's a great tool. And I'm telling you, as someone who used their writing lab a lot when I was at Kennesaw State 15 years ago, okay, I learned more from that than I did just in my classes, because the idea is that like no college curriculum has grammar written into it in terms of like English 1101, 1102. It's all about thought, rhetoric, organization, those things that we teach, okay? So to get refreshers and to really work on language at the little finite parts, you need one-on-one work, and you don't ever really learn that until you work on the stuff that you've written, okay? And so like my sessions with my writing tutors have stayed with me forever and helped me to like remember all this stuff. So you should do the same, okay? So I'm telling you, you need to try to, because essay 3 has the opportunity to replace essay 2 grade. Let's say you made a 65 on essay 1, and then you made an 85 on essay 2. Well, essay 1 has now turned to an 85. So then if you want to get that A, then you need to try to make a 95 on essay 3, so that way essay 2's grade turns into a 95 as well. So then you would have a 95, a 95, and an 85, which will average out to an A, okay? So essay 1 grade's done now. Once you turn essay 2, essay 1 is solidified. You either surpassed essay 1 and get that grade changed up, or it never changed at all. But essay 2's grade can still be modified by the score of essay 3. So I highly advise you to go to the writing lab, okay? And some of you will be going to the writing lab on Monday, in which the paper is due, and not turning your final paper until Wednesday of week 8, okay? And then you'll say, hey, I was working with a writing lab. tutor, and that week is there. The reason why I'm giving myself a whole week to grade is because I expect some of these essays to be coming in a little bit after the due date because you were working with a tutor. All right, just tell me the writing lab's the tutor's name, okay, and I won't give you late points once it gets to like Thursday of next week. Okay. All right, y'all. Hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great week. All right. I'm posting this on Friday, which is a couple days early. All right. But I want to go ahead and get it out there for you because I have nothing else to do. There's no reason to keep it around until Monday. Some of you won't watch it until Monday. That's fine. Do whatever you want. Okay. All right. Email me if you have any questions. See you later. Bye bye.